Well, Graham, I think it was 12 months ago at Ballyliffin, there was lost clubs. There was a panic to qualify for the Open Championship. It wasn't an ideal scenario around an Irish Open. You come here, you know you're going to your hometown of Portrush to play in an Open in a couple of weeks' time. You're a PGA Tour winner. You're back in the world's top 100. Do you feel in a much better place than you were 12 months ago?
For sure. I was texting with Claire Welsh, who's the sort of player liaison at the R&A. She sent me a text a couple of days ago, and it was really regards where I could park at Portrush to go practice. And I realised the last WhatsApp I had with her was about withdrawing from St Anne's Old Links qualifier this time last year. So I said, nice to be having a better conversation this time regards the Open Championship. So no, listen, nice to be here at Lahinch. Have the Open Championship taken care of. Looking forward to that, but very much trying to be in the present this week, and I'd love to compete. And I've never won an Irish Open. I'd love to love to win one of these.
I know statistically this year your putting has been exceptional. In fact, I don't think there's anyone better in the world right now at a tricky 5-footer. What has flipped with your game over the past 12 months that it feels as though you're coming right back to your very best?
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with a putter. I mean, I think when you're putting well, chipping's easier, and when you're chipping and putting well, iron play's easier, and it just really, your game feeds off the short stuff, you know. So the putter started to heat it up around sort of early March this year, and you know, I've kicked on and putted really well this season. So yeah, it's always been a big staple for my game, and like I say, everything else feels a little looser when you feel like you can clean those 5-footers up. But yeah, confidence has come back a little bit. You know, just shaking some of the pressure off regards playing privileges in the States, and back in the top 100 in the world, and the Open Championship, lots of things, you know. So just playing for the sake of competing right now, as opposed to trying to take care of a bunch of other sideline stuff, you know. So I just feel a bit more relaxed.
Yeah, when you think of your mental state where you are now and the stage of your career, and I know you turn 40 later this month, and compared to say 19 years ago when you came here as an amateur and you won the South of Ireland, and you've your whole life ahead of you and you're dreaming about what you can achieve. I'm sure it's impossible to flick back to what your mental state was back then, but were you a different person when you came to Lahinch for the South of Ireland?
Yeah, I would say so. I was definitely a little greener behind the ears, and life was simpler, you know. Life was just about, you know, trying to be the best golfer I could be. Well, you know, I suppose that hasn't changed from the point of view of what I'm trying to achieve in the game of golf. You're always trying to get better in this game, but like I say, life was simpler in those days. I feel like I'm smarter and better these days. I'm probably 20 pounds heavier as well, and whatever. But what can you do? But no, listen, I still love this sport. I think that's the key. Lovely to be here in Lahinch. I remember the hospitality. I was 20 years old. You know, my 21st birthday was the week I won the South in 2000, and I was enjoying the hospitality a little bit, shall we say. But I'll be taking it pretty easy this week. Probably, you know, obviously the stakes are higher these days, and very important that my preparation stays good.
It is so long ago since you last played here. Does it bear any resemblance? Does it give you any slight advantage amongst those who are seeing it for the first time?
No, I don't think so. I couldn't believe how little I actually remembered. You know, it was
that was the hospitality.
I guess that was the hospitality talking there, and it was also the match play element in the South. You know, you'd come down some years and get beat in the first round and go home with your tail between your legs and not really see much Lahinch. And then obviously I won in 2000, so played a few matches that year, but no, recollections were minimal. Really enjoyed seeing it the last couple of days. It's a great track, much more beautiful than I remember. I didn't remember it being bad, but I certainly didn't remember it being this good, and really enjoyed the last couple of days.
Paul McGinley says he's been keen to set it up Portrush-esque, so it's the perfect preparation. You were up in Portrush practicing for the last couple of days. Do you see that? Is it going to be something for the players who've taken the chance to come here instead of the Scottish, that they'll get that reward?
Very much so. I think tee to green, fairways are running about the same speed, roughs very similar, and to be honest with you, the bunkers are very similar to Portrush in their shapes and the way the sand plays, and green speeds are very similar, you know. So no, I think he's done a phenomenal job with the setup here. It's really good, and like I say, resembles how I feel Portrush is going to play here in a couple of weeks' time.
There's obviously going to be a lot of pressure on you on Portrush from media, from everybody else, demands in your time. It's your hometown. Actually, was the US Open a good prep for that? Because as the last man to win at Pebble Beach, you had something similar. You can sort of work out in your head how to actually focus on. Listen, you want to win. I think, was it 19 years ago you won in Portrush as well the same summer?
Yeah, I mean, someone just reminded me that 2000 was Lahinch and Portrush, two big wins. 19 years later, we have the same challenge in front of us. I'll take one of them. I don't even need both. I'm not that greedy. I'll take one of the two wins. But like you say, Pebble was a good warm up for me. handle the expectation levels and kind of going in there with that little extra bit of pressure as the last Pebble Beach US Open winner to go to Portrush. It's going to be a different type of pressure, but I feel like I'm experienced enough to know how to deal with that. 10 years ago maybe not, but nowadays, being around the block, and I've experienced pressure and most of its different forms, and I think we can handle Portrush. I'm looking forward to it.
When are you taking over running this thing?
No idea. I mean, Paul's done a phenomenal job this year. Big boots to fill with Rory the last few years. I mean, Rory done a phenomenal job putting us back on the map. I'm looking forward to getting my opportunity. Schedules are up in the air, a lot of things up in the air, and hey, there's a lot of good guys waiting to take it.
Enjoy the week.
Cheers.